Today we're going to take a look at Roccat's new Magma membrane gaming keyboard. Hello and welcome to First Look. I'm Young John. Now today I am super excited to take a look at this guy right here. This is Roccat's new Magma membrane gaming keyboard. Now most keyboards that are for gaming are mechanical switches, but not this one. This is the first I've ever seen that is a membrane that's for gaming. And if you do actually prefer, the silent kind of feeling of a membrane keyboard, this might be for you. So without further ado, let's open this guy up. So this is the front of the box, very clean, Roccat Magma. This is the top of the box. This is the bottom where you have the package containment, system requirements, technical specifications, which we will go over as we open up the box. And this is the back of the box, AMO illumination, membrane keys, vivid backlighting. It says down here that it's got a detachable palm rest, low maintenance design, easy shift button duplicator, and advanced anti-ghosting. Let's get our trusty knife here. And there it is. It is wrapped in plastic with the cable that seems to be attached right to it. Wow. Here's your keyboard, your quick start guide, pull out the palm rest. So that's everything you get inside the box. You have your keyboard, your palm rest, and your quick start guide. Now everything here is in nice plastic to give it nice protection, and even the palm rest has one too. It even comes with instructions on how to attach the palm rest. So if you take a look at this thing over here, you attach by sticking it in, and you detach by kind of pulling it underneath and pulling it out. I'm sure this will come in handy. Don't throw this away, because there's gonna come a point when you want to pull this out and you can't. You're not able to do it because you forgot how. Okay, plastic off of the keyboard itself. This is made almost entirely of plastic, it looks like, and it shows in its weight because it's 870 grams. It's fairly light. Most mechanical keyboards are much heavier than this. The cable is attached to the keyboard itself. It's a good thick quality cable. Line is 1.8 meters long. It comes with a Velcro strap. 1.8 meters is really long. Look at this. Now I see that the plug is USB-A and it has a nice print of a keyboard on it. Then you don't mistake this for, say, a mouse plug. Now the top plate is almost see-through and white so that the lights that illuminate can be showing through. Looking around on the back, you can see rubber feet. There's 6 of them, it looks like. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for an extra firm grip. On the table that you set it on the bottom are 2 feet, and that is about as much as you're gonna get in terms of extra added height. So before we even plug this in, I wanna dry type on this to see what it feels like. Now have a listen and observe. Okay. It feels nice. It's very pleasant. Now for me, it feels membraney, but not too membraney, because membranes make your fingers really tired after typing a while. I mean, the cheap membrane keyboards. This is a gaming one. You're gonna be on this for a while. But it almost feels to me like a cross, the feeling of typing on this, between membrane and almost a mechanical quality, but it's not mechanical. There's no mechanical switch under this, but it feels nice and pleasant. Not too hard on your fingers either. Only time will tell, but already I'm feeling like, okay, I can live with this, not too bad. Computer's up and running. I'm going to plug in the keyboard now into my USB port. And the keyboard lights here. There are 5 zones from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This has 18.8 million color capability, but you can turn off the lights without having any software by holding the function, and I believe it's down. You see the up and down keys have a secondary function of the lights. And by doing that, all the lights are off. If you're in the office and you don't want to show anything glitzy, you can do that. And once your boss is out of the office, hold the function and go up, turn on the lights and let the party begin as you start gaming. Now, you have additional media functions on the F keys up here. So F5 to F8 are, volume up, down, and mute, and F9 to 12 are, play, pause on your media player. You have a game mode on the scroll key, and all of those are controlled by holding down the function key right down here. Now, this keyboard also has Roccat's Easy Shift technology, which is secondary buttons that you can map on the whole left side of the keyboard when you game. So you can press the caps lock and set any of the keys to do something else, and when you want to revert back, you press the caps lock again and it'll go back to gaming. Now, you do need the Swarm software to set those keys, but it is possible. Adding the wrist rest is very easy. You see these two prongs. There is a space underneath where those prongs go. Basically, you just push it up against it and you push it in. You hear the clack, it's connected. Now, pulling it off isn't as easy unless you remember to do this. You kind of bend this backwards and it'll come right off. Otherwise, you're gonna have a really hard time. Let's plug in the mouse now. This mouse is going wonky. I think I need a different mouse. So we have a different mouse. There we go. I'm gonna start testing this keyboard by opening up a text document and just typing, "Hello world." Feels nice. Now, this keyboard is supposed to be 26K rollover. You can press 26 keys at the same time. Most membrane keyboards only registers 2 or 3 maximum at the same time. Let's see if it can register everything by holding down the 2 shift keys. Now, regular membrane keyboards can't handle it. You'll miss a lot of keys by holding down the 2 shift keys like that and then just typing. We're gonna type the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. It registered every single key. Now, if it was a cheap membrane keyboard, it would register maybe half of them. But this picked up everything. Has anti-ghosting, so it won't register keys you didn't press. Cheap membrane keyboards will have ghosting problems. So if you press 2 different keys, it'll register a 3rd key sometimes due to the way it's all interconnected in a grid-like layout or design. But this shouldn't be doing that. Now, what I'm really interested in is for FPS gaming, okay? This first-person shooter, you're running around and you need 4 keys minimum for movement. So forward, back, left, and right. So A, S, D, and W. And maybe you need a key for reloading a gun, you need a shift key for running, you need a space key for jumping. All of those keys need to work at the same time, more or less. So I'm gonna trust that all of the keys do actually work by playing a game. So we've started Resident Evil 2. I wanna see how playable this game is using this membrane keyboard. So I wanna press as many buttons as possible and see if there's any glitches that pop up. Okay, so I've expended some ammo and I'm going to press more keys. So they might have a game where you're walking and then you run and you have to go to the left all of a sudden. And then you have to reload like that. That's like 4 or 5 keys already. And if I had to jump, I would press space. There's no jumping in this game though. But all the keys seem to be very, very responsive. So I'm very happy about that. Ah! Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Fire 1, and let's fire 2. Okay, now that I fired a couple of shots, I want to reload. I'm going to walk, that's 1 key, 2 keys is running, shift, I'm gonna go left, like that, and I'm gonna reload as I go. So I'm gonna press R, and it is reloading, great. So I've pressed like 1, 2, 3, 4 keys at the same time, and it seems to be working just fine. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. I mean, for FPS gaming, this keyboard seems to be just right. This time we're playing Mass Effect 2. Now in this game, there's no running. Outside of running, you do have, forward, left, right, and action. There is no jump in this game either. What is it with these games that don't jump? Don't understand. And Reload. Who's firing at me? Oh, there we go. There we go, we got that guy. And now the only thing that I'd say is a little bit hard to keep holding down is the shift key. And that's from playing that last game. I was firing at nothing. Ha! Okay, let's use Reeve on this guy here. That's kind of a biotic thing. And give him a few headshots, you know, like that. Do that, do that. Man, they're like killing me here. Gosh. Who's firing at me? Nobody now. So in this game too, I'm gonna fire a few shots. I'm going to go forward, go right, and then reload, and then whack somebody in the head. So it is responsive. Fire, I'll reload, whack, reload, whack, fire, reload, whack, press shift, pick another weapon. Yeah, pretty responsive. And it does everything I need it to do. So I'm really happy with the response I'm getting from this keyboard when I play FPS games. We'll open up Swarm, and it says download the Magma module. So we'll use the auto updater. Go to General and search now. We are updating the Roccat Swarm software. Okay, so Swarm has downloaded the drivers for Magma, and these are the different hardware pieces that you might have from Roccat, and it detects it automatically, and here are the different settings. Now these are just pinned settings. The other settings are starting from here. General features, this is what you get. We have key assignments. You can assign different keys, different functions if you want. And then over here you have key illumination. Now this is probably the setting that's most important because you get to see all the pretty lights on this keyboard. So down here you see the gaming profiles. We're at profile number 1, which will do whatever this is doing over here. Now we're at AMO intelligent lighting. This is set for AMO. You can set it for something else, like you can do fully lit. If you do custom, you have 5 different colors that you can do. Now I'm going to click apply, and it's going to show on the keyboard exactly that setting. So let's say I want to change this into, oh, I don't know, a green, a red, and then go to blue and do this kind of a crazy, I don't know, party colors. And I like this. Let's say I like this, okay? I'm gonna go to apply, and now you'll see on the keyboard it has done that. It has changed all the colors to my settings that I made in Swarm. So once you do that and you want to save it, you go to profile. Let's say I want to change this name to Crazy Party. The first thing you want to do actually is export this profile. You want to save this, okay? I want to export this. In your computer, it's under, you know, my name, your app data roaming, Roccat, Swarm, profile, Magma. Because if you have other hardware, it'll be under Swarm profile and whatever the hardware is. I'm going to call this Crazy Party and save it in case something ever happens and I need to reload that theme. It's called Crazy Party. So this is the most important thing to remember under key illumination. There's 5 different zones of colors, and you can set it to whatever colors you want and the brightness you want. If you don't want to do that, that's under custom here. You can select an already existing theme, let's say this one, and you have to apply, and then you'll see it change on the keyboard there. Or use AMO, which is intelligent kind of lighting. So let's apply this. And you can see on the keyboard itself, it does this kind of weird color shift, and it reacts to every key press. So if I press key there, you see that color change? You let it go, it goes back to what it was. You press that, it'll do that, and then it'll go back to what it was. And if you keep pressing over there, it'll react to your key presses. Let's say I made a mistake. You're like, oh man, I want to go back to Crazy Party thing because you know, I just changed this to AMO. What you do is you have to go back. You can't apply it because I already applied it, and this Crazy Party is now AMO. That's why I'm gonna go back here, import the profile that I saved, Crazy Party, because a lot of times I forget that I do, play around with this, and I forget to save it, so I lose all the settings that I made. So I'm gonna import it, apply, and my keyboard's gonna go back to what it was. So don't ever forget to export. It's really, really important. So that's key illumination, one of the big selling points of this keyboard. The other one is key assignments, so you can assign different keys to do different things. So if we go to multimedia, the master mute button is highlighting this key up here, telling you what it's mapped to. So basically it's this function and this key here, F8. You can also set something to what you want. For example, if I want to change my profile 1, right? I want to access profile 1 using the left arrow key. So I'm gonna grab this, go over the key that I want, which is the left arrow key, and function and left arrow key is gonna now turn into profile 1. You see the little blue light there? So now it's set to something, and that's the key. If I click on the key, it'll show me, oh, it goes to profile 1, which is Crazy Party. If I go to profile 2, and I wanna set it to, I don't know, the right key and function, now you see the little light? It is now mapped to this key here. If I click on that key, it says profile 2 is now mapped to this here. Great. Now if I apply this, when I'm in profile 1, I have these two maps. If I want to go to profile 2, which since I mapped it to the right, I'm going to go to my keyboard here, press function and right, and it should go to profile number 2. Great, and it's done. It changed, and you can see over here too, it changed to profile 2. Unfortunately, the setting isn't global, okay? So that setting is only good for profile 1. If I click on 1, you see that it's mapped here for profile 1. So all of these different profiles are independent of each other. There is no global setting. So if you want this to do the same thing on each and every one of these, you're gonna have to go into there and then, click and drag to make your settings. But that's the only thing. There's no global thing. Just keep that in mind as you do your remapping. And that's basically it for the Magma settings. Those are the major settings that you wanna be aware of. One thing of note, this will work if Swarm software is open, but what if it's closed? If I exit Roccat software, if it'll still work. So I'm gonna exit, right click here and exit Roccat software. Okay, so look at my keyboard. I'm not in Roccat software anymore. So I'm gonna press function and right and see if it remembers, and it doesn't. So none of this stuff works if you quit out of Roccat Swarm. You have to be in Roccat Swarm for these functions to work. So now that we're open and all of the drivers are loaded and whatever, now if we press function right, it should go to profile 2, which it does. I kind of wish even if you don't open Roccat Swarm, it would remember to do all that, but it does not. So remember to keep this open if you wanna activate your different key illuminations and your key assignments and your profiles. So you're trying to decide, which one should I get? Should I get a membrane keyboard? Should I get a traditional switch-based mechanical gaming keyboard? Price-wise, this is much cheaper. This is about $60, I believe, versus a mechanical one, which will cost you upwards of $100. So price-wise, this is better. But if you like membrane keyboards and you've been dying to game on one, this is it. Most membrane keyboards you can't game on because you're limited to 2 or 3 keys at once. But here you can press most any key you want for gaming, first-person shooters, whatever, and it'll work. How great is that? More options for you, more options for the consumer, and that's the great thing about this Magma keyboard. Give it a serious look. It should be on top of your list. Thank you so very much for watching our video on the Roccat Magma membrane gaming keyboard. Now all of you guys out there who want to game on a membrane keyboard now have the option to do so. If you want to find out prices, we'll leave Amazon affiliate links down below in the notes. And if you haven't yet, please take a moment now to subscribe to the First Look YouTube channel. We shall see you all again next time. Now if I go to function and arrow key left, it should turn back to Crazy Party. Function arrow key left. Function arrow key left. Crazy Party, hello. So we have a little problem. Press more than 2 keys at once. I'm getting too wordy. Let's make it shorter. So at the end of the day, you're trying to wonder, USB keyboards have a nasty, it's not nasty. So here's the keyboard. It is an impressive plastic thing. Impressive plastic thing. Who the hell says that? Yeah. So should I do that one more time? Let's do that one more time. Good. We'll call that a day. Good.